Scanning for audio.
Welcome once again to another Tin Dog podcast where I'll be talking about Disney Who. What used to be known as Doctor Who, Disney Who, is now in its first season. Episode 3, although there's been 6, or is it 7? There's been 4, but this is episode 3. Was the first one episode X? Yeah, fair enough. Boom, Stephen Moffat. We know what you're doing, Stephen. We really get what you're doing. I was going to make some sort of boom, 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 I want you in my room, or boom, boom, Basil Brush, yes, it's a return to 1970s television kind of gags, but I really don't fancy doing that. Look, it's been by far, the single best Doctor Who story of the entire season. Okay? We're saying that now because it's just damn true. I didn't enjoy last week's, either of them. I wasn't particularly fond of the goblin nonsense at Christmas, so this is good. But of course I'm a Doctor Who fan, so I'm going to have, issues. For a start, I'm 10 feet away. That's definitely something that's been put in for the American audience. We're a metric people. You will take my meters away from my cold, dead hands. On the subject of which, we know what you're doing, Stephen. We know what you're trying to do. Yes, you've got a commentary on the healthcare system, financially motivated healthcare, because a patient cured is a customer lost. But of course, we've got the NHS in this country, so everything's fine. Privatisation by the back door. Anyway, what I'm saying is, thoughts and prayers, that we can absolutely see what you're doing, and you've got this showing around the world to a lot of people, some of which are American. I know. People who just, as far as the rest of the world's concerned, just love guns. So, there is one line halfway through, well, 3/4 of the way through, and why was this episode only 38 minutes? Yes, my wife did think that it was still too long for that. She just kept asking why he wasn't using his sonic screwdriver. But you know what? If he had used his sonic screwdriver, the whole thing would have lasted about 10 seconds. So, fair enough. Haven't you figured it out yet? Yes, we did figure it out. We figured it out in the first few minutes. But we were quite willing to go with it and go, yep, we've got it. We understand your first few minutes. And that's absolutely fine. We get it. Here's a question for you. Is this the bottle episode? Not the Dr. Light one, but let's face it. It's got one major location, the big hall, and it's got a very small cast. It doesn't go anywhere. It's got, well, maybe it is a quarry. I didn't think so. It felt like a nice place. The ambulance thing was kind of cool. The tubes of living matter, very, very Stephen. But of course, the one thing that we need to look at is Stephen's fixation of putting religious characters in war. Yes, I know he's got an issue with that, and frankly so have I, because in Doctor Who I like my gods to be people behind curtains or mad AI or non-existent entities. Doctor Who has, as far as the world's concerned, and in fact as far as history's concerned, I would like to say, been primarily an atheist kind of a program. All of the gods are mad aliens. That's why in the Satan pit it was always seen as, no, you can't be Satan, that's just made up. But everyone needs a big bad, and that's the point. And in this story there is, well, you've seen it, you know there's no real big bad in the story, that's the point. Here's a thing for you. Could you hear Matt Smith doing the lines? Almost 80% of the lines in this I could completely imagine as a conversation between Matt and, well, any of his companions. So, yes, I discussed the whole feet and inches thing, but here's the thing. Let's have it referenced as a... How do we measure this? We measure it in fingers. Okay, then. I'm sorry, I'm all over the shop. I have got notes, trust me. So this religion thing, okay, your religious soldiers, we've seen them before. We've seen them in the time of angels. And yes, the whole arms manufacturer thing. We know that the Ninth Doctor travels back and destroys the entire company in one of his, again, Stephen Moffat stories. It's nice that we've got a cyclical nature, but it needs to be more than the best of. Yes, last week I jokingly said that this whole episode was basically the very boring bit of Genesis of the Daleks, rehashed and turned into half an hour. But that's just a way of keeping the Doctor still. Yes, we know why he didn't have his sonic screwdriver. We know because all he would have had to do is wave his new TV remote around and then deactivated the bomb and everything would have been fine. But of course, narratively speaking, he doesn't have it when it's needed for the plot. Okay, thoughts and prayers all around. So I get why he didn't have his sonic. Narratively speaking, I totally understand. I'm still not fond of its shape or design, but that's fine. Oh, another thing that my wife pointed out was that snow is the new crack. No, not crack as in cocaine. Crack as in a motivating thing that's in lots of episodes that really makes very little sense and keeps the plot going. Snow that stops. Snow that represents hope. Yeah, we get it. We do. So like I said, I like my religion in Doctor Who to be a motivation for the villains, and here it is. Yes, and I like the idea of this period of history being a blip where religious nutters aren't in charge. I don't like the idea of everything else in history where religious nutters are in charge. I would at this point you towards the available book on Amazon of God Wants You to Be an Atheist by Milne Shaw. More about that another time, I think. So, religious soldiers, it's very, and I'll put this out there, Warhammer 40k, very interested to see what they're going to do with that TV series when it finally arrives. Are they going to push the overt, terrifying religions? Oh, no, you can't have Warhammer 40k, we're not. Otherwise, it's just a load of people in power armour, which admittedly would sell. So, if you had a Doctor Who pub, no, a sci-fi pub, what would you call it? I was thinking the Wandon Screwdriver, possibly the Wandon Sonic, I just don't know. Right, sorry, I've rambled. Hey, that's what we're here for. You know I ramble. Did I enjoy it? Yes. Did I find the idea of a lesbian gymkhana intriguing? Perhaps. It's not very inclusive. Or are the horses all lesbians? And also, how did they check? And according to the government, there's 72 different... Leave it. Leave that there. Yes, there's always going to be a load of stuff thrown in. The dying characters, the tubes of flesh, all of that's quite nice. The AI interacting. I wasn't that pleased with the wiring going through his eyes and the electricity and all that business. That was a bit weird. And let's face it, one swallow does not make a spring. So one good episode does not make a fantastic return to Doctor Who. Stephen Moffat has done one story for us. He's not doing any more in this season. He might be doing another one, but at the moment, no more. And that is the monster that we don't want to talk about. So, in a sense, I've covered some of my notes. A lot of them made no sense and I was basically rambling. Did I enjoy it? Yes. Did I enjoy it more than any of the others of late? Yes. Does this mean that I basically just miss Stephen Moffat? Well, probably. Well, that's not a great start. But you know what? It was a good story. I enjoyed it. I hope you did too. It is odd that on this YouTube channel I'm doing audio podcasts to review these and video podcasts to review my Big Finish. Oh, I need to say that because of the bandwidth that's available to me on Libsyn, I can't bring you any more Big Finish reviews till the end of the month. Otherwise I wouldn't be able to bring you these reviews. But they are available on YouTube, and then once the next month rolls around, I'll put them all out very close together. So watch out for those Big Finish reviews. They will be coming your way. Okay? But if you want them early enough, tune in to the YouTube channel and subscribe, and you'll get them the day they come out. So, until next time, when I'll be talking about Doctor Who, be seeing you. That was the Tin Dog Podcast. Available on Spotify, iTunes, Acast, Stitcher, and wherever good podcasts are found. Get early access to content by subscribing to the Tin Dog Podcast YouTube channel. You can support the show at patreon.com/tindog. Contact the show on Twitter at tindogpodcast or email tin-dog@hotmail.co.uk. All of the things discussed are the intellectual property of others. No infringement is intended. The Tin Dog Podcast is a founder member of the Doctor Who Podcast Alliance.